And welcome everybody to the Monday night call-in show. I am, of course, your host, the Wild Man, Chris Wild, and looks like the chat is hopping already. That could be because I'm coming in just a few minutes late, and I do apologize for that. Have a little technical difficulty, but all is good now. And hey, who's excited, man? I'm telling you, great day, first day of spring practice out of the way. Saw some things we were hoping to see. Saw some things, maybe we weren't expecting to see. But overall, I think, I think we're just all excited to have spring football back. That being said, of course, I do have to get some business out of the way. The OHIO podcast is, of course, the official Ohio State podcast of Scarlet and Game and Fansided. Go over to Scarlet and Game and Fansided and check out many, many great articles written by fine journalists, not the least of which is my co-host, Buckeye Boggs. Also, guys, we are the official Ohio State podcast of the College Huddle. Going over to the College Huddle, where I believe we are now up to 76 podcasts that you can check out from several teams all across this great country, spanning the entirety of college football. So that being said, our phone lines are open. We're going to jump on those right away. It looks like we have one in queue right out of the gate. But yeah, guys, I got to tell you, before we get started, spring football, of course, everybody's talking about the quarterback competition. That, of course, Julian saying Lincoln Keenholz, Tavion Sinclair. If any of you have heard anything or seen anything, what are your initial reactions? I mean, obviously, you can't have a lot of excitement after day one, but, I think it's kind of what we thought it would be. I think Julian is that guy. But let me know what you guys think. Also, some depth along that offensive line being shown today, as we saw Austin Sierveld popped out to tackle a little bit today. So something to talk about there, perhaps. And how about the new coaching hire as Ryan Day continues to expand his coaching staff with former Buckeyes, today adding Nate Ebner to that staff as well. Thank you, Tyler. I would have almost forgotten. Of course, Eric would have been all over me about this. Please do not forget to smash that like button, guys. Also, make sure you go on, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything at all. Definitely helps us out a lot. But let's go right to the phones, get things started off here. And we have a call coming in from the 614. And, here's the thing. Eric has sent me the list. I've got to print it up because, I'm just not good at this yet, guys. I'm just not quite good getting there yet with being able to manage all these screens. I'm working on it. I promise you, I am working on it. But, Eric is still the master at that. So, all right, let's hop on real quick. Who we got on the line tonight?
Wow, man, what is going on this good Monday night? It's your main man. That's right. Everybody's favorite Buckeye is on the line Monday night, like Monday Night Raw. How we doing, ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages? How are we doing tonight on the Ohio Podcast Calling Show with yours truly, the Wild Man, Chris, and let me just say this. Oh, let's get ready to party.
Wow. that was actually a very good Michael Buffer, Caden. Nice job. So why are we partying tonight? Are we partying because it's day one of spring football? We actually got to see these guys take the field and prepare to defend that national title? Is it that you're hearing rumblings that a certain team may, finally get what's coming
Wild
to
Man.
them? What is it?
You
What's got you excited?
you just hit my first point there, Wild Man. It is just showing why this Ohio State team is getting ready to rumble for another national championship. And Wild Man, let me ask you, who do you think this voice belongs to?
Well, Caden, there's only one guy it could be.
Answer?
Yeah.
What's your final answer?
Well, you're either Caden the Man, you're Michael Buffer, or you're a really bad Ric Flair, according to the chat.
It is Caden the Man, the most beloved Ohio State Buckeye fan who knows how to do a promo like his great teachers. You should know that, Wild Man, and recognize the voice.
I'm learning. I'm learning slowly but surely. I'm learning. So, and hey, next week I'm hoping to have the list printed out so that I don't have to guess anymore. So what's on your mind, Caden? What is on your mind, my man?
Well, let me just first say this, Wild Man. I am ready for the Buckeyes to roll, rumble, and always show why we are the Ohio State University, baby. The same team who just won a nice national championship. The same team who's got a number one defense in the Big Ten, and the same team who's going to be the demise of Michigan's little one-hit wonder year of just a whole lot of BS. That is the same program I was born and bred in this very state right here in Ohio, home of the Ohio State University Buckeyes, baby.
Man, I'm jacked.
Come on, man.
I'm jacked, but you are up there, man. You've got it going.
I'm more jacked. I'm more jacked than a 15,000 arena screening, ready for D Generation X to come out with. Obviously, my buddies Triple H and Shawn Michaels, when they say, thank you for the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the world, and for the many fans and also our favorite lady crushes at home who watch the program. But long story short, we'll get to that on another point. But let me just say this again, Wild Man. Oh, let's get ready to party!
Okay. So, Caden, I'm assuming you saw a little bit of what happened today. Maybe tuned into Ryan Day's press conference this afternoon. I don't know. I did a little bit of all that. So I got to ask, what did you think coming out of day one? What was your biggest surprise coming out of day one?
You're asking me my opinion, Wild Man?
Yeah.
I think you should already know my answer, my dog. I am ready for this team to rumble. Rumble. You hear me? Rumble. That means kick the other team's butt. Send them packing. Send some other teams to the hospital. You already know this Ohio State team is just showing why we are that talented, why they are that loaded, why they are that locked down and focused, why they are preparing every single day since we won the 9th national championship, why we are the Ohio State University Buckeyes and why we are that damn good. Come on, Wild Man. You should know that. You should understand that. By God, Wild Man. My Lord. Are you not ready for us to go out there and whoop some serious rear end, Wild Man? Because clearly you are not. I am. Now, is it just me? Or is it just me that I'm ready to rumble, kick butt, take names, take no prisoners, and also tell everybody to go screw themselves because they aren't the Ohio State University? And why should Michigan be in the Big Ten? They should be in the Big East. I mean, come on, man. They suck. I mean, Notre Lame. I mean, they're Notre Lame for a reason. They're lame as...
Caden, you got to breathe, man. You're going to fall out on me before this is over with. You got to breathe. Okay? So...
I'm just fired up, dog.
Wait. Okay, hold on. All right, so now I'm ready. Now I'm officially ready. But that being said, what about today has got you excited? I mean, I know you are always excited. You are naturally excited. What about today has got you excited, man? Was it seeing CJ playing on the defensive line? Was it seeing Austin slide out the tackle? Maybe seeing we're going to go as many as 8 deep across that offensive line again? Was it
it was every single part of this. It was every single part of it, Wild Man. What do you think? I already knew that spring practice was going to be as good as everybody else thought it was going to be. People can say, oh, well, it isn't. It isn't. Well, you know what? Guess what? If you ain't an Ohio State fan, I suggest you get out of here because The real dogs of the Big Ten are getting to work. They're hustling. They're showing why they are the best. They're letting the fresh guys get up on there and show why they're the best. C.J. Hicks getting up on the defensive line shows why he's going to be an elite pass rusher this year and why he's going to be getting the number of sacks this year. I mean, the offensive line doing as good as they always do. I mean, the quarterback group is pretty loaded. I mean, come on. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, two receivers that could win the Heisman Trophy if they did. But if Travis Hunt didn't screw it up, yes, that's a whole other conversation for another day. But, I mean, come on, Wild Man. We've got a talented roster, a loaded roster, and now our defense is going to be better than ever than they were. I mean, come on, Wild Man. Come on.
You know, I love your excitement, Caden. And let me just take this opportunity real quick before I respond to Caden to remind you the lines are open. The number is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So let's get some calls lined up in that bank. But so Caden, for me, it's this. I'm excited. But I'm trying to temper my expectations, not lower them, temper my expectations with understanding there is going to be some growing pains. I do think that the defense is going to be very good. But I think you might be putting the cart in front of the horse, so to speak, coming out and saying it's going to be the best it's ever been. Last year's defense was pretty damn good, my man. To say that this defense is going to be better, replacing as much NFL talent as we have, I got to take a step back. I've got faith, but my man, I got to take just a step back. I want to temper it with a little bit of realism. I'm not trying to get myself all hyped up and psycho after a week one if we struggle a little bit. We can still win, but we could struggle a little bit, and I could be going absolutely psycho because I didn't temper those expectations and face the realism that we're gonna have a little bit of growing pain. I think we have to expect that. Can you not see where maybe a little bit of growing pain is to be expected? Maybe a little.
Wild Man, let me remind you of a little history lesson. May I please?
Please.
We're not the only team that was in this scenario. After winning national championship, we lost a couple of good guys to the NFL draft. Can I please just say that there's one team
we lost a couple of good guys? We have like 5 starters returning on the team.
Now hold on. Let me just say this. Let me remind you, Georgia's is the other team that had lost 10 starters to the NFL draft. And what did they do? They whooped every single buddy on their schedule and won a national championship. Bottom line is, Ohio State can do the same thing. We can reload. We can lock down, load, and go out there and absolutely dominate. I mean, come on.
I agree with you. But I'm telling you.
Now, let me just say this, Wild Man. Let me say this.
Yes.
Michigan isn't going to be a problem. Southern Cal's not going to be a problem. I mean, Southern Cal, let's be honest, Lincoln Riley and all of them, that's garbage over there. Someone needs to throw them out. UCLA ain't going to be a problem. Penn State, yeah, right. Jerry Franklin ain't going to do crap against us. I mean, come on, man. We're the best team in the Big Ten. We went through 4 teams to win a national championship. We showed Oregon why we are the Ohio State University, home of the Scarlet Gray, home of Buckeyes. I mean, come on. The school of legends, of Hall of Famers, of once-in-a-lifetime generational talent superstars. I mean, come on. This is the Ohio State University. This is the school of the Big Ten, and this is the program to be at. I mean, come on. Why do you think a lot of kids want to be at Ohio State? Because we are that dang good. I mean, come on.
Okay, Cade. Okay.
Wow, man.
Just to respond to you and Andre both who think I'm doubting a little, guys, I've got the faith. I do believe. I think it's conceivable that this team could make another run, given that there are many teams who have lost a lot of talent. All I'm saying is don't drop your expectation, just temper your expectation and understand that growing pains are going to exist. To expect this team to be the number one defense in the country right out of the gate after all that we've lost is probably a little bit unreasonable. This is why
you're saying
this is why
you're
we are
saying
known
unreasonable.
as the to expect it right out of the
You're-
gate, yes. Am I saying we can't be there by the end of the year? Absolutely not. I think this team can be there by the end of the year. I just don't think they're there out of the gate as the number one, defense in the country, as a top 5 explosive offense in the country right out of the gate. We do reload. We don't rebuild. We do reload. But guys, we got to give it a little time. So, that being said, Caden, I've got a couple callers in queue. Do you have anything you want to part with?
Well, man, it's good to hear from you as always. And you know what? I'll be seeing y'all Thursday night on the Ohio Podcast College Show with your old buddy Eric Balls,
Absolutely.
aka the Podfather.
Yeah.
And as always, OH. Yeah.
Wow, Caden. Oh, my friend Caden, I don't know what to do with him. He is definitely an excited guy. So, yeah, I'm catching a little grief. You know what? I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down this year, Amish Podfather. So I'm trying to temper a little bit. Now, if we get into the season and they look like what we saw out of that team up north last year, I'll probably lose my mind. You're absolutely right. But you know what? Right now, I'm trying to give the process time to work through spring ball, through summer camp, and see what the product is on the field when we start the season. That being said, let's go to our next caller. We got the 330 on the line. Who we got with us tonight?
You're a moderator.
What's up, my man?
I'm great. Hey, I love his enthusiasm and passion, Chris.
I do too. Absolutely. I love that enthusiasm. I love that passion. All I'm saying is, as pumped as I am that spring ball started today, and as psyched as I was to hear Ryan Day speak, as psyched as I was to see and hear reports from camp, as psyched as I was to see that we got another former Buckeye on the coaching staff, tempering expectations, trying to keep the blood pressure down a little bit today. So, what's on your mind tonight?
Chris, I don't know if you saw on the good old Twitter today, but there was a picture of one Connor Stallion showing up in Indianapolis.
Connor Stallions. You know, Connor, I don't know if you realize, my man, what you have done to that school. I don't know if you know what you have done to the sport of college football. But my God, would you just do us all a favor and go hide yourself under a rock? Because just like you, your Netflix special absolutely sucked. Your team absolutely sucks when they're not cheating. And it's time for you to just move on, my man. Go hide under a rock. Move out to Montana on a mountain somewhere and just go away. Anyhow, what are your thoughts about your friend Connor?
Our friend Connor, right? We use that as a very loose term. Is there any? Why does he keep showing up? He's like a rash.
Yeah, and like one of those uncomfortable rashes, you get in a place where you don't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's besides the.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but let's talk about today's spring practices. We weren't going to learn anything today. We're not going to learn anything during the spring practices because, you know, the media only has an hour time to actually
Right.
see the. So what I wanted to see was, does Julian look the part? And, does he? He really looks the part.
Yeah, I saw some of that, Tyler. I agree. I mean, every place that I've listened to, from what I've seen, first of all, amazing zip. The quick release is phenomenal. Um, he looks like he's bulked up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Julian. I think that, I think that he could be the guy. I really do.
And the reason why I bring this up is because of yesterday's show, right?
Yeah.
Where you guys were bringing up how some quarterbacks, it's either Ohio State fans really love them or they hate them.
Yeah.
Where do you think Ohio State fans feel with Julian right now?
I think that as they feel that he's going to be their starting quarterback, he's going to feel love right now. He's going to feel love. If he struggles, given that you've got a 5-star kid from an hour away sitting on the bench, we know what a fickle fan base we can be, and I include myself in this, but that's all part of me trying to calm it down a little. But I think that you're going to hear some fans start to grumble if Julian struggles out of the gate. And let's not forget, he's not just going up against a MAC school or a group of 5 school in his first game. This is Texas. This is the team we took out in the semifinal. Yeah, he's going up
and an SEC school.
Correct. With a guy who's one of the Heisman favorites at quarterback. I mean, this is a team that, they've lost a lot, just like Ohio State has. But this is a team that is going to be a challenge. Don't fool yourself and think it is not. But, I think that we need to give Julian the benefit of the doubt if that's who the coaches go with. Because there's a reason for it. And as you watch him in practice right now, I think he's showing you that. Like I said, the release, much quicker from everything I've seen and heard. Much quicker. That's going to be important. The zip on the ball, the tight spirals. Let's face it, this guy was a 5-star guy that Nick Saban recruited. There's a reason for that. I'm telling you right now, this guy has every opportunity to go out there and run this thing back this year. The Buckeyes can run it back with Julian Saint at quarterback. I truly believe that. My question is, can the defense produce anywhere near what we saw last year, which is what I was talking about with Caden earlier? And secondly, can this offensive line produce? Now, we saw great production last year, but let's not forget, we had some great senior leadership along that line. Obviously Donovan Jackson, who made the move from guard to tackle. You had Josh Simmons, who was on pace to be an All-American before he goes down versus Oregon. Seth, until his injury, was on pace to possibly be All-American as well. This was arguably the best line in the country, I think, if they would have all been healthy at the same time last year. But, the guys that stepped in and did a good job when they had to. So, again, I'm excited. I think Julian can be the guy. But like I've been telling people, we're going to go through some growing pains. Let the process play out. If it doesn't look like he's the guy, Ryan Day will make the move if it needs made. Um, at least that would be my hope. Anything else on
Yes.
your mind?
Yeah, I got one more thing
Bring
on
it
my
to
mind
me. Bring
too.
it to me.
So I mentioned this also on the Buckeye Boys and show yesterday too. The biggest scapegoat for this year is Matt Patricia. So because there's always going to be that one person that the Buckeye fans are going to be like, okay, if we fail, he's the reason why. Who we look at right now is that person that's going to be the reason why people say, oh, the Buckeyes lost or aren't doing as great as our expectations are perceiving they should be. They're going to immediately look at Matt Patricia because people already have this pre-existing notion of him prior to being the defensive coordinator. So he's already climbing up a mountain as is.
Yeah.
So against Texas, when they get a first down, everyone's going to be up in arms saying, "Oh, we're not going to win anything," because Ryan Day already won the national championship. Brian Hartline won the national championship, even though he was the wide receiver coach, but now he's the offensive coordinator. But they got the rings. Matt Patricia, he doesn't have the rings, not here, but he has the rings in Super Bowl rings. So the Buckeye fans are going to be like, oh, that hate him are going to be like, oh, why is his defense not doing his job? You lost 8 starters.
Yeah.
It's gonna have some growing pains, like you said, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I see where you're coming from, Tyler, that Patricia could easily become the scapegoat here. But my plea to people would be, let's try to give the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't my favorite hire. I've won on record saying it wasn't my favorite hire. But I'm starting to be willing to at least see what happens. Ryan Day, as you said, earned himself a lot of grace, and he earned the right to the benefit of the doubt with what he pulled off in the playoff last year. There's a reason he's paid what he's paid, and that's because he knows all of us, more than all of us, who are just sitting here with microphones, spouting our spiel, So I think, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, at least till the end of November. And, just let the process play itself out. And hey, I like the fact that we do have another Ohio State guy coming back to help out on that defensive / special team side of the ball, and Nate Ebner.
Nate Ebner, he's gonna be a beast for us.
He's an intense guy. Staff. And by the way, do you remember where he played in the pros?
New England.
You remember who his defensive coordinator was?
Matt Patricia.
Just saying. So yeah, I'm excited about this hire. I'm excited about everything I've seen today. I'm excited about the fact that we're talking about depth on that offensive line again. How about that? How about the fact that we saw Ian Moore and Severveld out there playing first team reps? And even though we all know that the 2 transfer tackles most likely are going to be the first team guys, I love the fact that we are out there with you have to show us and earn it mentality.
I love that too.
And I don't
Nothing's given to you here.
Did you get to see Ryan Day's press conference today?
Yes, I did.
I loved when they talked about restoring and rebuilding the culture, how the guys that are there now, the leadership team that is there now, wanted to take down a bunch of the natty stuff. Because for most of them, they've won nothing yet.
Yep. You didn't you weren't on
Caleb,
that team.
Yes. Sonny, yes. Some of the offensive linemen, yes. But all these younger guys, they want to just take that and put it out of their mind. Like, you haven't won anything yet. And I think that goes for the transfers too. They are trying to rebuild that culture.
Exactly, Chris, because I remember, I don't know how Kirk mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I don't know, like he said, I don't know how he worded it, but Bill Belichick used to hate these guys that were on the sidelines and they got a ring. They didn't do anything. They were on the sidelines and they got the ring.
Well, Bill Belichick hates everything, though.
I know, but the premise is you didn't put forth the effort. You weren't on the field to actually win the ring yourself. You were on the. You got like a participation trophy.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So, yeah. For me, I love this. I love this mentality that we're bringing into the Woody. I love the fact that, even though we're coming off a national championship, these guys aren't about celebrating. Even the guys who were there aren't about celebrating it right now. It's about, okay, that was last year's team. This is this year's team. Let's go make our bones. To me, I think that is huge.
Well, Chris, I got nothing else to say. I'll be in the
Tyler,
chat moderating.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. You have a good night. OH.
I.O.
Awesome. Always good to hear from Tyler. We got one more call in queue that I'm about to bring up. And then, the lines are free and open. So please go ahead and jump on in there, get on in the list to give us a call. Tell us what you think about today. What did you see? What did you like? What did you not like? What are you concerned about with this team? Or why are they going to just run it back? I feel like I know this phone number. I feel like this is a phone number that I called frantically about 2 minutes before the show started.
Yes, you should have this memorized. Like, it should be like the second most important phone number on your phone.
After Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut? What are you talking about? Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut hasn't been the same since we were kids, Chris.
I know. Ever since they shut down the sit-down restaurants where you could go in and get the all-you-could-eat buffet. Come on.
Before that, man, back when Pizza Hut was like, I remember going to Pizza Hut when I was a kid and with the Book It program. Do you remember the Book It program?
Yes. But you know what I miss? I
That
miss the
was so good.
sit-down Pac-Man game.
Yes.
Come on.
They had the original Mario Brothers arcade game before it was on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and I was blown away by that thing. Anyways, I thought I would call in since you were asking for callers and I would bug you. I am so pumped for spring ball, Chris. Like today was just hearing about it and talking about it and reading about it and everything. I can't wait, man. I absolutely can't wait to see everybody out at the tailgate and did you hear what Ryan Day called the spring game today?
He called it the spring game first.
He slipped up and called it the spring game.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then he's like, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. We're going to try to make it as close to a game as anything, as we can. Nothing's changing about it. It's so funny. But anyways, I am excited to see how these changes are going. But did you hear when he talked about Brandon Ennis maybe in the backfield?
Yes, I did. He talked about Brandon Ennis in the backfield. He talked about moving receivers to tight end and tight ends to receivers. And, he really talked a lot about, and this all comes down to that 105 scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you've got to have the versatility. You have
to.
And we saw it play out. I thought what we saw play out last year was great with our offensive line. And then to see this year, we open up day one where the two touted tackles aren't even starting. And I understand this is Ohio State. You have to earn your way. I understand that. But to see Austin and Ian get out there and take reps with the ones, I thought was tremendous. And I love the fact that he addressed that by saying versatility. We need versatility. We got to have these guys who are going to be able to play every position on the line, basically, or at least a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the one thing, Chris, that really stuck out to me, and I'm watching this interview. Ryan Day looks so relaxed, calm, absolutely. Confident. And then one of the reporters, I'm not sure who it was, says, you seem like a different guy, like the pressure's off. And Ryan just goes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it was what's his name from the podcast. Help me out.
Was it Austin Ward?
I think it was Austin. Yeah.
Was it?
I think it might have been Austin that asked that.
I wasn't sure who asked, but I mean, that to me should be so, out of everything we learned today, and I know it's the first practice, what are you really going to know, right? But out of everything, just getting a calm, relaxed, confident Ryan Day, man, I just feel like I know that this is a different team. I know it's got 2021 vibes to it. He even mentioned that it feels very similar to 2021. But I just feel like this team they're going to do it this year, man. They're going to beat that team up north. And they might go 10-2 in the regular season. We might not win the Big Ten. I don't know. I think I feel 10-2, with only one loss in the Big Ten, whether that be to Illinois or Penn State or something. And as long as we beat the team up north, I think you're probably going to go back to Indy with that kind of record, right? Only one loss in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah,
and so you get a chance to win the Big Ten. Just get back there and probably make the college football playoff again. Like, and when you get in the playoff, you just never know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
So just get there. That's the whole point. And build your team up through the season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint anymore, right? This thing's a marathon. It's 16 games. We all saw that play out last year. I just feel like Ryan Day's kind of got this thing figured out, man. Like, it's a different dude, Chris.
Yeah, and you know, a relaxed Ryan Day is a confident Ryan Day. And if I'm the rest of the college football world and I'm seeing a confident Ryan Day, that's a scary Ryan Day. Because if he's confident, I think he can just let it rip. He can just he's because I think that's what we saw. I don't know if it's almost like what we saw out of Ryan Day in the playoffs, where that wasn't necessary. I think it was some of it was confident Ryan Days that went on, but more than anything, it was backed against the wall Ryan Day. And he only had one thing to do, which was come out swinging. And I really feel like confident Ryan Day is going to have that same type of mentality. I'm going to come out swinging. So, as critical as I've been of Ryan Day, I really feel like what I saw today in that press conference, like you said, just so relaxed, so confident. And, I was just talking to Tyler about it. I love the concept of, the whole leadership of this team is the whole concept of, well, last year was last year. This is this year. We've done nothing. Let's go win our bones. Let's go earn our bones now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even David mentioned, they've hung the banners, but they've taken everything down from last year's team as far as the national championship. And he goes, it was more player-led because they're like, we haven't won. This is this year's team. Last year's team won national championship. This year's team hasn't won anything. I love that. I love that mindset, dude, that grit that this team's already showing, the fight that's in them. To me, I think if this team is like, last year's team, we won it all. But this year's team, we're going to beat the team up north, man. I think if they have that mindset and that mentality with the way Ryan Day has made some changes personally and on the coaching staff, I don't know, man. I'm feeling really good about this, Chris. I am. I'm getting more and more confident in this team. And I don't know, man. I just feel like, 10-2. Maybe go 8-1 in the Big Ten. Get back to the Big Ten championship. Beat team up north. Kind of feels like everything's right in the world.
And you know what? As we found out last year, it's just like poker. All you need is a chip and a chair.
That's it.
You have a chip and a chair, you can make a run. But I'll tell you, I love, you talked about the changes Ryan Day's made. How about bringing back another Buckeye for that coaching staff?
Yeah.
I love Nate Ebner. I love his intensity.
Is he going to be coaching the special teams?
He's going to be a special teams analyst, basically. Yeah, the special teams.
Yeah, just give it to him. Just give it to him, right? Like,
well, and I it wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come to that.
Because he was awesome at special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what got him to the NFL, and he had a nice career in the NFL with it. And yeah, he can still help you out with safeties and things like that. But let's face it, special teams is his bread and butter. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that pickup as well. That addition to the coaching staff. So, anything else on your mind, Eric? We got a couple in queue.
No, awesome. I'm glad. Yep, kick me out of here. You go to them. Don't forget to tell everybody about our 6-year anniversary special show.
It's coming. I was just getting ready to get on it here in a second, and then I was going to drop it again at the end of the show. So.
Drop it now. Drop it like it's hot.
We'll drop it now. Okay,
later.
We'll start. All right. All right. So that was the Podfather, friends. We will get to the caller from the 419 here next. What Eric was alluding to is this Saturday, guys, we are going to have a special 6th year anniversary show. It's going to be Saturday night. And guys, it is our 500th episode. That's right. You guys have listened to us 500 times. Maybe we can talk Eric into bringing back the audio from the very first show. Because if you guys haven't listened to that, you have missed a treat. But hey, I'm assuming, and Eric, we haven't specified the time. I'm assuming it's going to be 8 p.m. Saturday. And I am really, really psyched for this. We're going to have some great giveaways. We're going to have, I don't know if Eric's going to light up the phone lines or not, but we've got a special guest we're working on as well. You know what? Let me tell you something. Amish Podfather, you go right ahead and lead the way, brother, because I love that idea. That would be awesome. But yeah, huge, 500th episode, 6-year anniversary show coming up this Saturday. I'm sure Eric will touch on this more. I'll get it again at the end of the show, and then Eric is going to touch on this more, I'm sure, Thursday. So we are going to hop over to our next caller who has been patiently waiting for about 10 minutes now. The 419 is up to go. Hi, who do we have?
Hey, Chris, what's up?
What's happening?
No.
What's on your mind tonight?
This is your other wrench.
I sure know it is.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the start of spring football, brother.
Oh, man. Was it not great to just, even if we only saw clips from an hour's worth of practice, even if we only, that's all it took. The internet is lit up with articles and footage and interviews of people who were there. I unfortunately was not there. As you know, I have prior obligations during the day right now. But
sure.
I'm telling you, it's so exciting to see these guys get out there and go about the business of defending this national championship. Something that I don't know if it's out of the realm of possibility that they don't do. Maybe they go out and actually defend it. Maybe they become a back-to-back. I certainly like our chances with Julian Saint at quarterback. Everything I've seen today, and granted, it's early on, but
well, the great thing is he doesn't have to be the hero, Chris, because we have so many weapons around him. The offensive line is going to be a strength this year. I think we're gonna lean on them. We're gonna be able to run the ball. We have a stable of running backs that have all kinds of different skill sets, man. So I mean, we got Turbo Rogers who have the skill set. Curtis Samuel, we haven't had it back like that since him. I mean, we got the big bruising back with CJ, and Peoples looks like another J.K. Dobbins. So I mean, I think we're gonna be able to pound the ball anytime we want, and just watching Sane throw the ball is a thing of beauty with all the weapons he has back there. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, if you have any talent at all at quarterback, and your line can give you 3 to 5 seconds with the skill position guys that we have, you're going to succeed. You're going to play well. I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to go on record as saying it. If Saiyan is half of what he's hyped to be, and I believe he is, if this line is half as good as we think it can be, and I think it will be, right now, even though he's thrown 12 passes in his college career, I'm going to tell you right now, he's a Heisman contender. The only thing that may hurt him is the fact that he's got a freak at wide receiver in Jeremiah Smith. And it sounds like he's got more than one of them at wide receiver now, because from what they're saying, Ennis obviously has looked good. We know all about Carnell Tate. Porter is looking good coming in. Look at the part early. I mean,
we're going to have 5 or 6 receivers, man. I mean, you got Bryson Rogers. Milo Graham's a guy that can take the top off defense. Yes. I mean, we have all kinds of skill sets at receiver too. I mean, Porter's a guy that we haven't had at receiver in a long time, where he'll be able to play bully ball. I mean, he's a big-bodied receiver who can just, body his way up there and box people out and get the, high point of football.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, something else I'm looking really forward to is, you mentioned Peoples. I really like what Donaldson brings to the game, the transfer from West Virginia. I think he can be a good 1-2 punch. But what about Bo Jackson? I'm excited to see Bo Jackson.
I'm excited about him too. Oh, yeah.
This team has a ridiculous wealth of riches, or wealth of talent. We are so rich in talent that it's almost impossible, I think, for this team not to make the playoff. This is not a team like what you saw when the scum fell apart last year.
Let's not forget we have an All-American tight end too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't think for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think we have any concern about the offensive side of the ball. My concern comes to the defense. I think they're talented.
I think the defensive line is going to be. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. I think the defensive line is going to be built different this year than what we've been used to. We're going to have them ends that are pass rushing ends that we haven't really, Jack and JT could rush the passer, but they were, great against the run. These guys are, a little thinner, a little leaner, more athletic, and are speed rushers. So I think our line's going to be built different. I can't say it's not going to be just as good as it's going to be different.
Yeah, it is going to be different. I'm also very excited and intrigued by the concept of course, CJ as a defensive end. I think he's going to be able to wreak havoc. I think a lot of us, may have been hesitant, but I think he's going to be able to wreak some havoc.
I think if they put him in the right position where he's pass rushing, he will succeed. But for him he's going to have to gain some weight if he's going to try to be there for 4 down, be a 4 down end.
I don't think
try to play against the run. I don't think so either. I think he's a specialist.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? You think back, Baron Browning was pretty much that type of player as well. And he parlayed it into a pretty decent NFL career. So
I mean,
CJ,
Browning, then you had Cooper, and
Yeah.
Justin Hilliard was too. We've always had some kind of freakish guys where they didn't know. They're kind of like tweeners. You're not sure what we're going to, outside linebacker end type kind of guys, and
yeah,
turn them loose and let them pass rush.
exactly. Be aggressive, turn them loose, let them go absolutely wild. And, in doing that, obviously you run a risk. You run a risk of something popping to the outside on you if you don't stay home and contain. But at the same time, one thing that I will say about, I'm sorry, Matt Patricia.
Go ahead.
I do believe that Matt Patricia can coach to the talent he has. He's a very intelligent man. I've never disputed that. But I do think that he'll be able to coach to the talent he has and come up with a scheme that's going to be successful for them. So that's his challenge right now. What does he do with CJ? And I think he makes him a pass rush specialist.
I do think the strength of our defense will be the secondary.
Oh,
I believe that's where our strength, without a doubt. I mean, Devin Sanchez is already blowing up. Everybody's already blowing up on him. I mean, how great he's looked already. I mean, you can't sleep on Aaron Scott or Bryce West, and you got Jermaine coming back and Iggy coming back.
Well,
and Caleb and Jalen McClain looks great at safety too. So,
and Malik Hartford was in there with the first team today. He looked good. You've got. I liked it when we saw the package of Scott, West, and Sanchez all in there together as well. Kind of that look at the future, Some of those guys are going to get some significant snaps this year.
I think they got enough to rotate those guys to keep them, not only keep them fresh, but not lose a beat when, get all those guys valuable reps.
And if Igbenogson starts committing penalties like crazy, like we saw at the beginning of last year, don't be surprised if we don't see one of these other guys get a shot. You never want to take a senior off the field, but at the same time, if it looks like he's hurting you, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. If he's hurting you and he's not helping, you yank him out. I mean, they did that last year to him. I mean, they started throwing Matthews in there. They got tired of him, getting those penalties. I just hope everybody, takes us. You realize, we might start out a little slow because one, we got two new coordinators. We don't know how it's going to look, coming back. So go take Hartline a little bit to get his footing, calling plays, and I think it might take our defense a little bit of time to see how Patricia wants to run the defense.
Yeah,
and what he wants to put in.
And that's what I said at the beginning of the show. I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm not saying we're not going to be great. Again, I'm not saying that this might not be the number one defense in the nation at the end of the year. What I am saying is I am going to not lower my expectations. I'm going to temper my expectations. I'm going to give the process a chance to play out and work a little bit. Mainly because if I lose my mind, like I have been prone to doing every time something goes wrong, when you got this many new starters on the field and this many new coaches, guys, things are going to go wrong. It's just going to happen. Doesn't mean you're going to lose a game. You're just not going to win it like you want to. So we have to just.
And some of these kids don't have the experience. Some of these kids don't have the experience in the games. We lost a lot of experience. That's the thing. I mean, all those seniors played all those downs. I mean, a lot of guys that are going to be playing next year do have some experience, so that's good. But I mean, we're going to have some new guys in there that don't have the snaps that the other guys have had in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
anything else on your mind tonight?
As long as all I got to say, as long as we're peaking at the end of the season and we're playing our best ball at the end of the season, I'll be happy with that. Going into the playoffs and we're playing our best, I'll be happy. If we start a little slow, I can live with that. I mean, I don't want to lose the first game to Texas, but if we do, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. We can survive it. We've seen
Well,
that. 10-2 was
it
good
was
enough
an
for a
honor to
national
follow.
title.
Exactly. Hey, you can lose 2 games and still win the Natty, so it's not the end of the world, like you said.
Yep.
So it was an honor to follow the Podfather. Thanks for having me on, Chris. I appreciate it. Great show,
absolutely.
buddy.
Talk to you later, brother.
Later, brother. OH.
IO. All right, guys, we got one more from the 740. We're going to pull up here really quickly. So the lines are still open. But hey, just another shout out. You know, I mentioned the fact that we got that big show coming up here this Saturday, our 6th anniversary show, 500th episode. Also coming up here in the near future, we of course have our tailgate at the Spring Showcase. So please, if you're going to be in the area, make plans to stop by and join us for that as well. We're going back to the phone, 740. We got you coming up. Hey, who we got on the
Hey,
line today?
Grumpy Cat.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, just wanted to pop in and say we're going to win the Natty again and create an awesome dynasty and to congratulate you guys on your anniversary show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are so pumped up about that. Of course, you know, without fans like yourself and everybody in the pod squad and all the people that listen and download us on YouTube, as well as all of our audio formats, you know, this wouldn't even be possible. You know, me and Eric,
You guys are awesome.
We're a couple of guys that like to get on here and hear ourselves talk about Ohio State football. That's all. And, you know, it's turned into quite a following, which we're really happy about. You know, and we are so excited to have this the honor of actually celebrating 500 episodes of being on the air for 6 years. You know, and then of course, like I said, we're so excited for our spring game tailgate that's coming up. So, what do you think?
You guys are awesome. You just
Well, thank you. So did you yeah. Did you watch any of the spring practice stuff today at all?
yeah.
So
I love what I saw.
You love what you saw?
I think we look good. We can win another Natty. I think we really can.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am so excited. I'm
very excited.
I was hesitant at first. I thought it's so tough to go back to back. And it is. It's tough. But, you know, as much as we've lost, other teams have lost a lot too. And we've reloaded really well. Because, of course, you know, and I know Eric loves this phrase, but we don't build, we reload.
Yeah.
And I just think that Ryan Day has done such a tremendous job with the players that he's brought in. And wow, these coaches that we're bringing, and I love the hire of Nate Ebner for special teams today. I thought that was a
definitely
huge
that was awesome.
Because I mean, I think that's a spot where we've really, if there's one thing we've had to criticize over the last couple of years, I mean, I think special teams may be one of the biggest. And I love this. I absolutely love it. So, anything else on your mind tonight, Mika?
I just really excited for the season and wanted to say congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. You have a great evening.
Maybe,
What's that?
I
All right, guys. The phone lines are completely open right now. We'll give it a few minutes, see if anybody wants to drop in. What? We got another call. Okay. Oh, nope. We don't. They dropped out as quick as they dropped in. So, yeah, guys, just a reminder, while we have a little bit of downtime here, this Saturday, 8 p.m., we are going to have our 500th episode, 6th anniversary show. We have several great items we're going to be giving away during the show to kind of show our appreciation for what you guys mean to us for following our podcast. I wouldn't, I don't want to give it all away. I will mention that maybe there might be an autograph or two given away. One other thing that's going to be given away, and you can see it hanging behind me. We have a couple national championship jerseys. One of those is going to be given away this Saturday. So lots of great things we're going to be doing this Saturday. And that's just to say thank you for you guys following us, listening to us, supporting us for the last, 6 years, the last 500 episodes. And then, of course, also we've got the spring game showcase tailgate coming up where we'd love to have you guys come out. We're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to have a lot of fun. And that is coming up, obviously, in less than a month now. It's going to be on April the 12th. So, hey, guys, we don't have anybody else in queue right now. So we're going to go ahead and cut the phone lines off. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to call it an evening after day 1 of spring practice. Guys, I can't say enough about how excited I was today and how excited I'm looking forward to covering the rest of the spring, the summer practice, and our quest to repeat as national champions next season. So thank you guys for watching. And as always, go Bucks.